helping the oysters because there's not really a lot of oysters around now.
I think seeing it live instead of having to read it in a book, it's better because you can experience it.
We are giving homes to baby oysters.
We're sending them to the Delaware Bay where they're going to get stuck in them and they're going to live in them.
I am excited to see how this all turns out. I would be proud to know that I helped.
Project Ports is a very interesting project. It has a very nice overarching view in that it is able to integrate science and education together. It incorporates environmental awareness into it.
Oysters, as the children have learned, are a big part of our ecosystem. And when the oyster population is healthy, the rest of the estuary is healthy. And teaching fourth graders about those kinds of things and having them participate in that helps to build stewardship down the line so they know about their environment.
One of the primary ways that students can participate in Project Ports is to help us build shell bags. They're essential for the project because oysters have an interesting life cycle. Oysters have to attach themselves to something after their larval phase.
Oyster larvae are in the water for a period of about 3 weeks, and during this period they're swimming a little bit and floating around with the water currents, and after they develop to that point they'll drop to the bottom and they'll look for a shell surface or other hard surface to settle to. And if they don't find that surface, they won't survive.
So it needs something hard and firm, and one of the best substrates is another oyster. And this is how they form reefs, by one oyster settling on top of another oyster. And so these shell bags are critical. So it's a really nice way for students and others to get involved in helping to restore oyster reefs.
I think we're close to 2,500. Everybody has to count them as you throw. The barge is going to contain about 2,000 or better shell bags, which were constructed by our local school children. This is the first phase of our deployment, or field portion of the project. And the shell bags will be out here on these intertidal sand flats for about 45 days. In August we'll come back, we'll pick everything up, and it will all get moved out. We threw the bags off the barge, and so they've been down here since June 26th, and during this time they have caught a very nice set of baby oysters. Wow. So here you can see the baby oyster spat on the shell, and they probably settled shortly after we put the bags in because they're pretty large size, so that's probably about 3 weeks worth of growth.
The millions of spat that are attached to these things, it's just wonderful, and the children really get a sense of ownership or participation. That was what they did a few months before, and now they see how their shells have changed and part of the ecosystem of the Delaware Bay.
I would like to have an assessment of exactly how many young oysters settled per bag of shell, so I can figure out how many millions of oysters we helped give a home to this year.
This is going to be an estimate because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
You can start on this side, that would be easy enough. 23? 23?
That's the 1,000? Oh, yeah.
20.
And this is one that probably settled very early and is fast growing. Very nice.
5?
at some point during the summer, those bags need to be moved upriver where they have a protected area. So volunteers come out for a couple days during the summer and transport all the bags to waiting boats that'll take them up to up bay. You have to time the tides well, and you get dirty and muddy and everything. It's a lot of fun. We use a bucket brigade and lift up these hundreds of bags that were once 15 pounds and probably 50 or 60 pounds now. Lift them up onto the boats that'll take them up river.